Hello, innovators. I'm Todd Wyant, and welcome to the Bridging the Gap podcast presented by Great Tech Group. This episode was recorded live from Autodesk University in Nashville, Tennessee, where the brightest minds in construction, design, and technology came together to shape the future. Over the course of AU, we talked with industry leaders, innovators, and the change makers about the trends, tools, and ideas driving digital transformation in our great industry. So settle in as we explore how to model the future of construction innovation. Enjoy the conversation. We are live. Welcome to Bridging the Gap podcast from Autodesk University here in Nashville, Tennessee. I am excited to be joined by Jason Douglas. Thanks for coming on and being willing to sit in the hot seat for a little bit.
Yeah, thanks for the invite.
Yeah, so I would love to start with kind of how you got into this industry to begin with, maybe a little bit about your role and your company as well.
Well, I kind of fell into the industry, honestly. I went to school for architectural drafting. ISG needed a civil designer back in the day, and it just totally switched. So it was it's kind of a cool transition, learned a lot, had to learn along the way, and then just sort of became a champion and somebody that wanted to learn more about just the software in general, just tech kind of nerdy stuff, just kind of grasped onto it. And that's how I became CAD manager that I am today. So
yeah, nice. That's okay. We are good with tech nerds around here. So you're in good company here. So what are some of the typical projects that you take on?
We work on any type of project, public, commercial, civil infrastructure, vertical services, everything, full AEC.
Nice.
Natural resources.
Nice. What brought you to AU this year?
We got a big crew out here. Actually, we got about 8 people here. Just got to check out all the new things. AI is a big talk always. Want to catch up on all the new things. A lot of tech previews going on with Autodesk in general. It's a big draw for us.
Yeah. So we're pretty early here in day one, but any kind of big takeaways so far from the keynote and things happening?
The keynote was really cool. A lot of future things coming down the pipe, a lot of things that Autodesk is working on. That's always exciting to hear about. Anytime you get a preview of what is to come, what could be versus what we're working with right now, that's huge. Gets a lot of people excited. I know that's part of it too, but when it comes to fruition, it's just that much better.
Yeah. Any big takeaways that kind of made you sit up as that tech nerd and be like, oh, wow, that's really cool. A new thing coming down that surprised you?
Well, being primarily like the horizontal, like civil services is what I've always done and what I still continue to do in the CAD management role. But to hear about the vertical integration with Forma and Revit and all that, I leaned over to some of the vertical people that were sitting next to me from ISG and I said, we need to use this when it comes out. So we need to look into it now, maybe. So I thought that was really cool.
Yeah, I agree. To me, that could be pretty game changing. That we've talked a lot about connected construction over the years. From that talk in the keynote, it was like, oh, this is actually starting to really truly happen and bring all those different workflows together.
It's exciting.
Yeah, it's very cool. So you're a partner with Great Tech. Let's go back to the led up to that partnership. What were kind of the genesis, some of the challenges that you were facing that made you kind of look around for a solution?
We had a number of resellers over the years, people that helped us out with software and workflows and tools and things like that. We were in need of a new partnership, and we found that in Great Tech just through great conversation. Nothing was really ever felt forced. Really cool tools, things like that. And then the help along the way with certain things. The support has been phenomenal. Response times is great. Normally, some people take maybe weeks to respond, and that's not the case with Great Tech. Very responsive, very knowledgeable about all things.
Nice. Well, we like to hear that. What kind of products and services are you using and leveraging?
So I know we do use on the vertical side ID8 with the Revit software. I can't speak much to that, but we did get a lot of hands-on training, and that's been a huge thing with both Plant 3D. We have a very young Plant 3D team. We had a person that had departed ISG with a great deal of knowledge and then left our team kind of, needing some help. And you guys have been phenomenal with that. That lead gal that got all the help and trained up the team that got help from you guys, she was out here last year and just had an absolute blast. So she got to meet your team and develop some really cool relationships. So on the civil side, I haven't used any of the tools yet. I feel like we're very well set up there, but on the support side for both Civil 3D and the ACC platform, we've been having like our CA staff, when they have an issue and I can't figure it out for them, I certainly reach out. We did some training with Mark Petrucci. That was great. Went through all that with him on both the web and mobile platforms. So he was great in that situation.
Yeah.
It was awesome.
That's awesome. Are there specific features and functionalities of either Civil or ACC that you guys are exploring and diving into a bit more?
A lot of the Dynamo on the Civil 3D side of things.
Yeah.
I think we've figured it out pretty well on the vertical side within Revit. It seems to be maybe more built for Revit, but certainly can work with any Autodesk platform. And I've been diving into it, and I think there's a lot of cool stuff. And I might lean on Great Tech for a little bit of help there. So that'll be
we're here.
Something to come.
Very cool. What is kind of sparking the interest around Dynamo?
It was something that I saw in an Autodesk webinar, the Infrastructure Futures group. They come talk about what's coming down the pipe, all things like that. I can't remember his name off the top of my head right now, but the head Dynamo guy, he showed a Dynamo graph, and I was like, I can do that. I have to try to repeat that because nobody's just going to give you a Dynamo script. That's just cheating. So you have to know what you're doing in there. So it's kind of cool to see. But that just sparked my interest, and then the fact that people, we had largely switched to Civil 3D 2026. People were still going back to Civil 3D 2024 for some functionality that hadn't quite come out yet for the new platform. So I said, well, I can build this in Dynamo. And I did.
Yeah.
No need to go back and forth anymore.
There you go. That's awesome. Are there certain challenges that you are coming into looking around like we can get this a little more efficient or a little more productive there?
Well, there's always improvement to be had. I think it's wide ranging, honestly, from the top down. Nothing off the top of my head that I really, really need to dive into, but definitely a lot on the plate, on the list.
Yeah. In terms of kind of recent projects, have maybe the Dynamo script, how has that affected recent projects?
Just helped with the need to not jump back and forth between the programs, the different year releases of programs. Helped the team out, I guess, because maybe they needed space on their computer and had to uninstall all their products. They can't, get that done. So it's just another component of the product that they can utilize and they don't have to worry about or have somebody else do to drag somebody else down. So
when we're looking at partnerships and stuff, what do you guys look for? What do you value in a partner? What's a good partner look like?
That personal relationship, the conversations we've had, I think monthly check-ins that we have with the Great Tech team, it's huge. It just keeps everybody in check, keeps you up to date, all the tools that you guys have, and just responsiveness is number one, and the ability to solve problems. So we've definitely found that. So we're happy.
Nice. How's that, the relational aspect of it, how does that directly impact the outcomes of your projects, whether, saving time or productivity or what have you? How do you measure it?
All that productivity and time savings is huge. That's number one.
Yeah. Let's pivot a bit on the kind of the automation side of things. How are you guys leveraging automation right now?
The automation, I think a great deal with the ID8 software, I believe. I have not had hands-on with that yet. Yeah, it's been really cool. And all the things that they're building into the ACC, and that's a lot of automation, a lot of background things going on that Autodesk has built into both the mobile and web application. The ability to see Civil 3D models inside of the ACC platform in the mobile app on an iPad, that's huge too. And I know that's kind of forthcoming. I don't know that that's been fully baked into it yet, but I've seen it, and I think there are others that have seen that on webinars, and they're really excited about that. So our field staff is probably going to be pretty happy with those things too.
I think it's an interesting point. So let's dive into kind of the collaboration between the different verticals and stakeholders internally. How do you guys manage kind of that collaboration and communication?
Just keep an open, informal communication. Make sure that when we have problems, we talk to each other. Make sure that everybody's up to speed on the latest and greatest technology, has the latest updates. Our IT team is huge when it comes to that. They make sure that we have all the latest and greatest updates. So.
Yeah, nice. That can be a very complicated endeavor, for sure. It's just the compliance and then the maintenance of that is a massive effort. So
indeed.
That's awesome. Over time, like looking out over the next couple of years, what do you see on the horizon for ISG or, just kind of in general as well too for construction tech?
Definitely growth in terms of what? Tech?
Yeah.
Well, we're gonna have to grow. We are growing. We have no plans to slow down acquisitions and just organic growth. So we'll have to grow. We'll have to make sure that we train well. And that I see us leaning on Great Tech a great deal down the road. Well, in the near future and down the road in terms of like training and stuff like that to keep everybody up to speed, keep everybody on the cutting edge of all the latest and greatest workflows, technology, programs, all that stuff. So we'll need help with that as we continue to grow.
Nice. It sounds like you guys are pretty cutting edge in terms of trying out new things and being creative there. What's the next step in the innovation or digital transformation journey for you guys?
I am not really sure about that. There's always things that you can do to be better, but what does that cost? Some of the cost of that technology and staying on the cutting or even bleeding edge, which we have sometimes been with our virtual desktops and things like that. We're always looking for the next best thing. And we got, a good core group of people that are always keeping an eye on the future. Even our executives, last year, they continuously asked us, well, go out there and check out AI. What's AI? How can we use it? I mean, they know what AI is, but how can we leverage that to increase productivity, increase our revenues and things like that, and cut costs?
And so over the last couple of years, there's been a ton of hype on AI. Do you see it moving from hype buzzword into more practical reality?
I hope so. I just inside of like say Civil 3D, for instance, I know they're going to build stuff into it like machine learning's already there, the predictive movements and things like that. I'm really hoping for some really powerful tools. I know that's already existing everywhere, but I would hope to see it become more and more of a reality and less hype, for sure, because it's been talked about for a long time. I want to see something really physical.
Yeah. What do you think will push it over the edge from hype to reality?
I think just as they continue to build those to feed whatever it is that you're trying to get something to do, the more it knows, the better it can do. And then that, that automation just comes through and hopefully all those things make our jobs easier.
Yeah. So another continuum kind of AI is the threat versus opportunity aspect of it. Where do you think it is in that continuum?
They need to get that in check. I think it could be a little dangerous, especially with I was in a small discussion group at last year's AU in San Diego, and they kept on talking about the hallucination, something that I really hadn't read much about. So, just like AI just making something up in like a chat situation, you got to double check if you're trying to get it to write an email or something that simplistic. But I think, they've got some checks and balances to put in place before we can really trust it, I think.
Yeah. I think with AI, it's a trust but verify world.
Yeah.
Probably always, hopefully, you should trust but verify it. I was having a conversation about websites and that ChatGPT is now in 2 years is going to overtake Google in terms of the main kind of search traffic. The ramifications of that for websites will be massive because you're going to be building websites for ChatGPT instead of people actually going on and looking at your website, because on chat, you stay on chat and that's it.
Yep.
There's no need to click. So I think it's kind of those ramifications in construction will be interesting as well too, of how does that play out when chat or, AI is starting to take more of that, and what does that look like if we're building for the AI instead of the...
It'll be interesting.
Yeah. It's a cool thought experiment right now that we need to get the answers on for sure pretty quickly, because it's happening and being developed in real time here. So as we start to kind of wrap up here, we're in the Great Tech booth. The tagline for Great Tech is modeling the future. What does that mean and look like to you?
Just helping your clients and continue to model, like modeling in the programs, Revit, Civil 3D, all the design programs. You are just truly building a model, and modeling is the future. Building is the future. So I think that's a cool tagline.
So in 5 years, when it's 2030, what do you think the main topic of AU is going to be?
Oh, that's a tough one. I don't even think I can predict that far out. I don't know. At the speed that it's been going, maybe like all of the integration of AI, how it is actually functioning, how it's working, where they can take it from there is probably the next thing. Like, what's the next component of AI, or what can AI work with? That maybe hasn't even been thought about yet. I don't know.
Yeah. I think it's an intentionally tough question, because there's for sure going to be technology in 2030 that we don't even know.
Right.
We haven't even thought the concept of it yet. And we'll kind of blow our mind then, but it'll be cool. So we like innovation. We talk about innovation a lot on Bridging the Gap. What does innovation mean to you?
just, finding the next best thing, creating something new, always progressing, things like that, I think.
How innovative do you think as a whole the AEC industry is?
Oh, I think it's huge. Yeah. All the stuff that you see, like everybody's coming up with something new, something cool. Like that's innovation right there. The whole industry, just finding new ways to do things, better ways to do things, more efficient,
Yeah, for sure. I think that it's been a really cool ride, even in the last 5 years since COVID. The
Yeah.
amount of change in tech that's
Oh,
coming to
yeah.
the space is
Yeah.
mind blowing.
Yeah. Glad to see everything bouncing back.
Yeah, for sure. How do people connect and find out more information about ISG or connect with you?
Oh, we can go to our website, sginc.com. It's a pretty cool website. So check that out.
Anything you're excited about with AU that you want to make sure you check off your AU bingo card?
And I just want to, soak it all in. That's my biggest thing every year that I come here. Take as much in as you can, have as many conversations as you can, meet new people. Definitely the expo, there's always cool things to see and have conversations about what people trying to make things better, work within the programs and things like that.
Yeah. Well, Jason, thanks so much for taking the time, and you did great in the hot seat. And now it's time for my Todd takes from this episode. First take, connected workflows are becoming real. For years, we talked about connected construction as a vision. Now, with tools like Forma and Revit integrating more tightly with Civil 3D and ACC, we're seeing the walls between disciplines start to come down. This isn't theory anymore. It's the beginning of a truly unified way to design, build, and manage projects. Second take, partnerships drive practical innovation. Innovation isn't just about software features. It's about the relationships and support that make technology adoption possible. The right partner listens, responds quickly, and helps translate tools into outcomes. That kind of support accelerates adoption and creates measurable productivity gains across teams. And finally, AI and automation need to deliver value. AI has dominated headlines, but the real impact comes when it moves from hype to reality. Practical applications, whether through automation in ACC, Dynamo scripts in Civil 3D, or predictive insights, are what will change daily workflows. The key is building trust in the technology, so it's seen as a time saver, not a risk. Thanks for listening to this episode. If you are interested in learning more, you can visit our sponsor, Great Tech Group, at asti.com for more information. You can listen to this podcast anytime by simply going to Apple Podcasts, Spotify, YouTube, or wherever you listen to podcasts. Also, be sure to check out our website, bridgingthegappod.com. As always, I'm Todd Wyant, thanking you for joining the conversation to model the future on the Bridging the Gap podcast. Keep innovating.